Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome. One of the things I want to tell you is brought to you by Dispose LLC. This little garbage company right here is going to do great things for you. And just do is give us an opportunity and a chance and a call. I got a lot of specials that's going on, and it ain't going to be because of Christmas. It's because I want to do some things for you. Don't worry about the specials. Understand the promise. All you got to do is give us a call, and then you can find out what I can commit to and what I can make happen for you.
That's an interesting equation, man. Promise.
And a promise. And you know, I remember that in a song a long time ago. But before I get off tangent, give us a call and find out what I can do for you. And again, you can hear from me. You can go on my website and we get our own at Dispose LLC as well. And then I got to get back to my man that's been rocking with me since we've been starting this. Craftmatic, how you doing, big baby?
Man, I'm doing fabulous, bro. I'm doing fabulous.
See, you still got that glow.
Got the holiday spirit going on, you know, feeling the spirit.
Is that all?
Yeah, feeling the spirit,
Keep that glow, bro.
Bruh, why you always do that to me?
I mean, because it's just trying to say, man. It's like
every show, man.
Secret formula and stuff.
Every show, man. You want to put my business out there, man.
I mean, we call it stir it up, player.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you keep a happy life.
I'm living a great life, man.
I want to be happy like you, player.
Man, you are happy like me. And I'm on the outside looking in. Matter of fact, you may be happier than I am.
I don't know. It depends on how you want to define happy.
I can tell you how I know, but you just may be. How you doing tonight, Smooth?
I am happy.
You happy?
And you know it.
Yeah.
No, one of the things I can tell you, man, we all go through a lot.
Yeah, we do.
And one of the things I can tell you, no matter all you go through, is the people that you have on your team.
Right.
You know, you got some people on your bench, you got some people out there that's in the stands. But the ones on my team makes me proud.
Yeah.
To be able to come all the time, man, and be in the studio with you. I got Booby, C over there, Brock always supporting in the background, and Crazy Adrian behind the scene that no one ever sees.
Yeah.
Keep saying she gonna get on air.
Listen,
won't get on
she's
air.
always here.
Always here, always
That's
supporting,
what's powerful.
finding
Always
me
here,
things to make this show more interesting.
Absolutely.
And again, the one that's always missing is Barbara.
Barb, always here.
Always here, in script,
Yeah.
making Georgia, been holding it down.
Absolutely.
And not to say King, my bartender, and we got a new person sitting in the background right now showing off the Bar Talk with Jay outfit.
Yeah.
We're trying to do something different.
Yeah, outfit. Is that a dress or pajamas or what?
I mean,
is that,
we
Jay?
do it all in one, man. However you might want to do it.
You do it all in one. Huh?
She even got a hoodie which she want to put on, but I don't advise her to do that. They ain't working out too well for her.
Okay. Listen, I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to introduce ourselves properly. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic, and this is my boy Smooth Jay. Jay put this vision together a few years ago, and he and I have just been having fantastic dialogue every single week for the last 3 years. And it's just an opportunity to look in the mirror at yourself through our dialogue, our opinions, our experiences, and find your story and decide what you would do, how you would handle the situation. It's okay for you to turn off the camera sometime, especially if you're watching this at a later date. Don't do it live, but if you're watching at a later date, pause the screen and talk about these issues amongst your friends and families. You'll be amazed at some of their opinions, and it oftentimes is very therapeutic for families and people to talk. So, and that's what we're about, that families will come together when they talk more. So I'm glad you're here, and we always start the show off with a prayer. So would you like to pop it tonight, Jay?
Nah, I'm going to let you handle this one, man.
Okay.
I've been running around doing so much. I need to get over here and bless somebody. I think somebody needs this close to the Christmas spirit time.
Yeah. Tonight's prayer I wrote the words, right action. And so let's just give it to the Lord. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence now with our heads bowed and our hearts humbled, thanking you for your awesome, awesome power and love in our lives, for your grace and your mercy. And we ask, Heavenly Father, that you would guide us in the right direction, that you would guide our thoughts, you would guide our emotions, you would guide our intentions, you would guide our attitude and our belief system. We're asking, Father, for right action and right direction in our lives. We're asking for you to bestow upon our minds an understanding of which way we should go. And so let anything not for us be taken away, and let the right path be before us. We ask, Father, that you would be here in this show to do your good and perfect work. By means of this dialogue, we give you the glory, and we ask for a fun-filled, awesome night tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 And all y'all that appreciate that, this Cash App Bar Talk with Jay. Cash sign, Bar Talk with Jay.
I don't think we got no money yet.
Man, it's one person. One person. Yeah, that's real sad now. Send me some money on Cash App. Because of what we doing.
People don't think they ought to pay for prayer sometimes. You know
I mean, I ain't really asking to pay for prayer.
Listen,
pay to help. Pay to help. How about that?
That's an interesting question though. Would you, if you knew that the answer to your prayer would happen, would you go and pay somebody to pray for you?
Yes.
You pay them $100.
I ain't say $100. I said $100. A whole bill
for your whole dream to come true. You wouldn't pay $100.
That mean when you look at it like that, that's a small amount. But in this case, it did happen. It's like scratching the lottery ticket.
Yeah, it's like gambling, like going to
exactly.
roll.
And I ain't part of that.
I'll depend on prayer versus dice.
I would too, but either one is a gamble. You rolling in it. So
listen, I spend that $100 all day long.
I would like to say yes.
Yeah.
But you got to think about it. The confidence level of I knowing that person can make it happen is the confidence level I have in myself.
Okay.
So I'm throwing out because I'm looking for what? Validation.
Yeah.
Am I really gambling on the validation or I'm really lacking confidence in myself?
The only thing that comes to my mind when you say that is, were those people who were chasing Jesus, were they chasing foolish dreams? Of course not, man. They were healed. They were healed in their
some of the
spirit.
people that was chasing Jesus wanted to do other things than Jesus. That's why I'm glad you was on the road.
Lord, I didn't say nothing.
I didn't say it either. It was in the Bible.
You better stop
This in the Bible. I'm just saying.
Let's move on to last week's topic. It was another great topic on the show. It goes a little something like this. Why are we letting the materialistic things take over in today's society?
Well, you already know back then I told you the phone was one of the things to gravitate to all of us.
And I didn't quite get that when you said it. When I went back and listened to the show, I was like, that's profound.
Yes.
Because we are actually being overtaken by these phones nowadays. You think about how much time you spend on your phone versus FaceTime with people. It's an inordinate amount of time, and it has begun to consume us. I mentioned things like idols.
Yes.
We're always reaching for these aha moments, and because we can watch, 10 videos in 30 minutes, we find different ways to get our aha moments, but we're still chasing nonsense, right? Those things will still have no value other than fun. You might learn something out of it,
right?
But most of it is chasing false idols, man. And the phone has really taken over in today's world, and it is a great part of materialism, even though we haven't recognized it as such, perhaps.
I agree.
One of the major points that came out of the show for me is that because of a materialistic mentality, people are buying self-esteem. People are using their money to buy status, to buy recognition, and oftentimes that status and recognition is just in your own interpersonal world. You go buy the $500 shoes instead of the $100 pair of shoes, and we talked about that. And so you think that maybe the $500 pair of shoes is going to get you a little further than the $100 pair of shoes. And so now you've spent tons of money making these shallow decisions, and that $400 could have paid for you to get your real estate license or whatever, you know what I mean? People are using money. It's, they got, I'll just call it superficial attitudes. And I'm really big on now separating people from their faults or their pains. Not superficial people, but superficial attitudes. They have surface attitudes. They see the surface of things and never understand the depth of it. I recommended 2 books, The Millionaire's Mind and The Millionaire Next Door. Both of those books will give you a sound understanding of how people who have real money think and how they spend their money. Because people who have lots of money don't spend it like we think they spend it. We're always going to see these anomalies where people go and buy $30 million houses and, people got $275. I recommended 2 books. million-dollar cars, and we're always going to hear these stories about people own islands and stuff like that. But that's only 1% of the population. That only represents 1%. See, when you understand wealth, and I don't think we talked about this, but there are, I think there's 1% of the people are wealthy. 3% of the people are independently wealthy. Right. They just, they're good and never worry about money in life. And again, you got 60% of the people who live paycheck to paycheck.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Right? And then the other, I think 23%, whatever that is, need financial assistance to live. So you got the wealthiest wealthy, you got people who are fairly well off, and then you got 60% of the people needing, living paycheck to paycheck, and then the other 23% or so is need financial assistance to live. So you've got nearly 85% of the entire population are, I won't say impoverished, but at the edge of life, at the edge of survival, right? And they're using their money to buy status. They're using their money to buy self-esteem. And we have to teach people that money doesn't work that way. I think that's what I think comes out of the show for me altogether. Money can solve some problems, but anybody who's ever had it will tell you that it will not buy happiness, and it will not buy self-esteem. Those things have to come from the inside. And quite frankly, if you look at people who have lots of money, they're full of self-esteem. Most of them, 90% of them, 70% of them, whatever, are full of self-esteem. And maybe the money gives them that sense of self-esteem or that sense of self-power, but people who have prosperity are very conscious people, and they're firm on their decisions. They're, they don't take life haphazardly. They have plans and they have goals and they get things done, and they're willing to say no what doesn't work for them, and they're willing to protect themselves. We got to understand the mentality that produces wealth, right? And not just, you can't understand it by just looking at the wealth, because you don't know how the wealth was established. I said either last week or a couple of weeks ago that everyone who's ever made it in whatever field of human endeavor, they've got a story to tell about when they were broke and when they were down and when they were lonely and when times were tough. They all have that story. And some of us just need to step out on faith enough so we can take enough we can get enough of those stories to achieve our greatest good. I don't want to ramble, but the point is that the material world is to much degree a false world, and it provides value only in terms of survival, but it will not fulfill a man's spirit. It will not take a man to his greatest level of good in the world. And if we can begin to understand that, and we are, I talked about 50 years, we're only out of slavery 60, 70 years, whatever, and see what we've accomplished now. Just wait till the next 50 years. The next 50 years, we're going to get our feet under us. And what I mean by that is that we're going to start to understand prosperity on a different level. We're not going to be out buying rims and chains. We're going to be out buying investments and CDs and bonds and securities and real estate. And I already see it taking place, especially here in Atlanta. If Atlanta doesn't equal the rest of the world because, just because it's such a big city, but if the status that's happening in Atlanta among black people will move out into the rest of the world, our world is going to be all right. Would you agree with that, Jay?
I would like to say yes.
We got some people doing big things here.
I left Akron and find out what we got going down.
A lot of people doing big things here, and if this is just where it starts and spreads in a lot of the big cities, then we're going to be all right in the next 40, 50 years. So
make it happen.
Yeah. So it was a great show, folks. Fantastic show, actually. One of our better shows. And I invite you to go out and take a look at it. We're all over the internet, bartalkwithjay.com. You can find us at Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast. What? Instagram. Yeah, we're all over. If you're looking for Bar Talk with Jay, you cannot miss us, right?
Yeah, you missed the offer up, let loose, cut loose, cut feet, back pages. Yeah, you gotta, wherever you might be looking, you gonna find it.
And listen, that is the genius in our marketing.
Right. Yellow pages, they still got that, right? They still have yellow pages out there.
Yeah.
I think they got anyway.
They got
yellow pages.
Yeah, they absolutely got yellow pages. So let's go ahead and cover our quote for the day, and then I'll give you our topic, and we'll take our first break. I love the way the show is going right now. It's real powerful stuff. So Barb put this together for us as per usual, and she says, find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. You can completely transform your life by not making assumptions.
She hit that over the head, partner. That fixes a whole lot of work problems and relationship problems. And that little quote alone.
Not making assumptions. Huh?
Assumptions can make an ass out. A lot.
Yeah.
Because you're using other methods to come up with something.
Yeah.
And that's your formula that might not be their formula. And then you overshot the situation.
Right.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot, way too often. And what are assumptions? Expectations, right? Expectations ruin relationships. When you start expecting something of someone and they haven't committed it to you, or y'all haven't even talked about it, you automatically hinder the relationship. You automatically put handcuffs on the relationship because one or two things going to happen is they're not going to satisfy your expectations, and then you're going to be upset. Or your expectations are going to be so pushy or so overbearing on them, they're going to be upset. Right? Buddha says it like this, that not our Buddha here in the studio. I'm talking about the real Buddha.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was thinking about field. My bad.
Yeah. Buddha, it made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, Buddha basically says it is our desires, our unfulfilled desires, that creates disturbances in our spirits. And so he says, when you have a desire out there and you expect something, if it's not fulfilled, then you're hurt, but you're hurt on a false expectation, right? And so we got to release our desires. Very first sentence, I really love it. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. And I've been working on Minecraft, and I did one the other night on basically learning to lean on a greater power. How to access a higher power. Asking questions is the way. I would just encourage you all folks to just sit in a room for about an hour and just ask 100 questions. Just ask it to the universe. Ask it out loud. Because there is an answer inherent in every question. Right? And she's suggesting that you have to have courage to ask the question. And I don't know if it's courage or just a simple draw of the willpower, you know. But this is an interesting dynamic. I just talked about questions, and then we talked about assumptions. What is the very opposite of assumptions? Asking questions, right? And somehow or another, we, magically came up with that. That's just a universal synchronicity, right? The opposite of assuming is asking questions. And, you can't ask questions to be overbearing or to be controlling, but get your questions asked, and of course, you'll find that things will go a hell of a lot smoother. It is time for us to take our first break. And so I'm going to go ahead and give us the topic for tonight.
What we got,
Jay and I always do a good job with this kind of stuff. Tonight's topic is, what are the main reasons relationships fail today?
Really?
What are the main reasons relationships fail today?
So we snitching tonight. You got a snitch to tell about a failed relationship.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. I want to hear about it. Right? I want to hear about it, right? You got some things to tell me.
I had Sam.
I know you do. I know you do. Hey, listen, folks, we thank you for being here with us. We hope you've enjoyed this first segment. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you, I just love that first segment.
Do you?
From the prayer to last week's to the quote. We cover a lot of stuff in the first the first segment, and that was just good stuff, man.
All right, well, let's have some more fun.
Yeah.
If you like the first, let's go.
You ready to answer the question for tonight?
Why not? Get it to
Okay, it goes like this. What are the main reasons relationships fail today?
Lies. Lies, that's right. We
good.
gonna simplify a whole lot. A lot.
That's good.
Now,
That's good.
somebody gonna say, everybody lies. Whatever. White lie, little lie, black lie. Listen, ain't no need of putting something behind what you already know is a false truth. Next thing you want to ask, why do people lie?
Why do people lie?
Well, from childhood, the first thing I ever felt is a desired outcome. And a lot of times people get confused about a desired outcome. Let's just go back when you was little. And you playing in the house and you knocked the lamp over and it fell and it broke.
Okay.
You already know you're in trouble.
Right.
Your parents asked you, did you break it? Some people be honest and say, yes, it was me. Let's just be honest. As a kid, I already knew I wasn't trying to get my behind toe up.
Most people.
I'm lying.
Right.
It wasn't me.
Right.
I was hoping my sister took it. I did. She needed it anyway. I wanted to snitch on my other stuff she was doing. But I figured if she took this one, it'd be a good one, right?
Okay.
So I said it wasn't me. Naturally, my mom, do her investigation, it is me. She whooped me. She said, I made it rough for you this time because you lied. If you just told the truth, you probably wouldn't have got a whooping. So I said in my mind, okay, I don't need to be lying then because that was pretty bad. So when the next time I did something, I went to my mom and I told her, and she whooped my ass again. Hold on now. You told me if I told, but I told you not to do that. So
that's two different rules.
Yeah. So I'm learning the hard way.
Right.
So I went through the school of hard knocks.
Right.
But lying was something that I chose to do a lot. But one of the things I realized while I was doing this because I was trying to control a situation, and it's a desire. I have a desired outcome, and if I give you the truth, you can choose.
See, that makes so much sense.
But you think about it, because if I want you, like a girl came to me when I was young, and I had a girlfriend, and at one time I didn't have nobody. Okay? Nobody want to holler at me. Then get a girlfriend, all of a sudden now another girl want to holler at me. I'm like, why now? I mean, I got somebody. I'm trying to, be with just her. So she asked, and she's like, you got a girlfriend? Yeah, I lied. Yeah, no. And she was like, well, I seen you with so-and-so just because I seen on me, I'm my girl. And she was like, oh, because I want to be a girl. I'll be like, well, hold on. You got to qualify. Now all of a sudden, I think I'm a player.
Right.
I just had one. Now all of a sudden, now I want to have two.
And that's why people lie.
Well, that's why I lied. I ain't going to say why people lie. But
no, that's why people lie.
This will call me up. You get into it, and then you start realizing that I'm able to accomplish some things by not being truthful. I had an expectation, and it was being fulfilled because I was not being honest, but I didn't give a person a choice. Okay. So then when I got lied to, I started realizing what you're robbing from another person, because you're not giving them an opportunity to make a proper decision. You're giving them a whole lot of false narratives so they can follow you, knowing you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and
so you want to know why relationships
can't
have a
and see what happens is you figure out that you can gain access to whatever by lying, by not telling the truth, and then it becomes habitual. Then it becomes a life habit that you will lie to get your way all the time. And then you probably become good at lying. You become good at foreseeing what is going to be said or what is not going to be done, and you can set your lies up to work for you.
It's been working.
And so now you get into a relationship that is who you are.
A liar.
A liar. And you can't tell the truth for the sake of you.
Don't know how no more.
Yeah, don't know how, and I think part of that is a sickness. But the other side of it is you're probably a coward. You're probably always running from the truth. You're always running from the reality of things.
But I was able to make it off a lie. You got to remember.
But did you really make it?
You think about it.
You don't know.
Well, you feel.
Yeah, you
remember,
feel, yeah.
It's a false sense of.
Right.
Because truth gives you reality.
Right.
I'm running from reality. So my lies keep me from what I fear. So again, that's why it becomes a sickness, because I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in my lives.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
And that's why people can lie so comfortably.
I'm comfortably misleading people.
Yes.
Right? There's something not right about
it's very not, but hold on. Let's why we got this show. Because people need to talk about what's not comfortable, but we can start having a better understanding. People ain't gonna ever get healed unless they get brought to a point where they start seeing themselves.
Right.
They seeing themselves as a person that's good in the community. Besides my lie, what else am I doing? Mm-hmm. They justify their lies. I ain't hurting nobody. She happy, I'm happy. That's what you're going to hear. Because I don't want to get deep and tell you. I was scared to deal with her with the truth. I didn't think she would stay with me. She probably seen through your lie anyway. It don't take a person long to realize you ain't the most truthful person, but they can see some good in you. They might have stuck around with a change they might hope you might do. You never even seen that.
Right.
There's people that brought you out of that darkness because they seen more in you.
Absolutely.
It just depends if somebody care to see you that way, or somebody don't care and ain't gonna care.
Let me ask you this, Jay. Let me ask you this. So people, the topic for tonight, folks, is what are the main reasons relationships fail today? And Jay said lies. What are people lying about in relationships?
Man, you can go from wealth. You can come from how they feel.
Wealth, that's a good one.
Come on now, hey, you know I got it like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whip out there, they rent. Like, hey, I can just blow this on you. When she starts spinning, be like, hold on, player, hold. Nobody said all this at one time, knowing that rent ain't gonna get paid.
Right.
So you got them kind of lies. You got lies about how I feel about you. You know, girl, you looking all good and things. She's like, I'm looking for a commitment. I'm looking for a commitment too. Well, that's a lie. I'm looking to smash.
Right.
But you could have said that. Right. I'm just looking to just get with you right now.
Might be just looking for a check.
And it could work, but no, I feel that vibe. That's what she want. I'm gonna give her what she want. Yeah, you want that? Oh, commitment. Yeah, I'm down with that. And then you tell that lie. Now to her, it's fulfilled something that she might want, and you just told her a lie. So she's on a wrong path already. Because of you.
Yeah.
Now, in her mind, I really just looked at you as a smash.
Yeah.
That's all you really look.
Yeah.
But you want to commit me, I guess somebody. So to her, you was a joke anyway.
Yeah, as you're talking, man, one of the things that I think about, I'm always thinking about how to heal the world or how to help mankind and stuff. Mm-hmm. That if we could just get people to see a real glimpse of what you're talking about. So you meet somebody, you start dating and talking, and whatever happens, you start getting to know one another.
Right.
That people got to understand that if I go into this relationship with any form of impure intentions, I'm going to get some bullshit out. If I go in with a bad attitude, if I go in looking for the wrong stuff, if I go in not wanting what's whole and complete and right, then I'm going to get what I'm going to, I'm going to receive who I am. I'm going in trying to scheme. Right? Guess what you're going to get? You're going to get the other side of that, whatever it may be. Maybe the other person may be selfish, or the other person may be, detached, or whatever the case may be. But you got to know that anything you go into with impurity, if I go into a relationship lying, then I got to know that it's going to hurt me, and it's going to hurt our relationship in one form or another. I'm almost talking about a self-accountability here. I know it may potentially be a long time before the world fully embraces it, but I'm afraid to tell a lie. The Lord just comes in and just slaps me down when I do something wrong or try to take somebody.
That's why I
hurt somebody
all the time.
Well, that could be.
You be hitting me all the time.
That could be, man.
I gotta stop that lie. My bad.
Yeah, I just don't want to go in with impure intentions, expecting something pure out of it. Because it just doesn't happen, If I go in lying, so if let's say 20% of our relationship, if you could measure it this way, 20% of our relationship is full of lies, then I got to expect that 20% of her is going to be a lie too. And that could mean any number of things, from, cheating or, how they deal with money or whatever. You're going to get that lie back in your face. We got to find a way to hold ourselves accountable at these kind of levels.
One of the ways, to me, is actually by doing it, you start seeing the repercussions of it. So again, I started off, and I didn't start off lying, just being truthful. As a kid, I didn't know how to lie. I just learned it when I was sitting at a table one time, and I'm going to try to clean the story up as best I can. I was sitting at the table, and I wasn't having sex back then. This is high school, like freshman year. And this boy went around telling everybody he had the biggest Willie John Johnson. And one of the girls was like, really? So she found out. She came back. And at lunchtime, I was like, yeah, it ain't. He lied. And all I thought about, is he got some. So I was like, he lied and he got some. And I'm just sitting at the studio as a kid like, wow. So I didn't go around lying like he lied. I was just going around saying I break backs. You know. And I didn't feel like it was really a lie because I wasn't doing nothing, so I guess I could. I didn't know. So opportunity arose by me talking junk because she over there talking about he would. So I just jumped in since she wanted to tell his business all the time. I jumped just like, you know, you better glad you didn't come over here because I broke your back. Right. And of course, she didn't look at me like that, so she was like, whatever. And I said, I'm just, you since you doing it to everything that moves. And she got mad because I was a jokester. I was like, you know, I'm just saying, come over this way, and I'll send you home a different way. Well, she didn't answer the call. Somebody else did.
Oh, Lord.
So when I got in, she came back and validated what I was saying. I didn't care if she validated it or not. I didn't want to sub. So I didn't have the right intent, but it sure got my intent. And again, that's where it can start as a young man.
Right.
Okay.
Listen.
And again, just giving you small, young. I am not saying this is the best way to do anything. I have to give some bad to understand some goods. Now, doing that's ran into the time you get a girlfriend now, and now you get a friend that want to know, can you break this back? You know. And now it's time for you to be hard and be like, no, I'm with somebody, I can't do that. Now you fall victim to back to your life.
You gotta be hard to do that, Jay.
Well, I feel like you gotta stand on your moralness, and that's where hard comes, because it can be hard when you got somebody that look real good trying to get their back broken. You want to break it.
Right.
I want to try to break that back. So I'm like, hey, yeah, I got hard. Because you get a hard. Talking about it, yeah. It's a whole lot goes on. Now, the whole thing is to bring this so we can have a good conversation of why a lie happens. But my whole thing is getting you back to the negative about a lie. Now, what I didn't tell you is not the lie helped me. They did it because they wanted me anyway. I never had to tell a lie. It was something that I didn't realize then. Right. I thought the lie got me to where I need to be.
Right.
I didn't realize I really could have got myself there with honesty. I never tried.
Right.
And that's the failure in people of not understanding the power of you in giving a truth a chance compared to a lie. We meet people with the expectation of more. And I'm going to get it the best way I can, so I'm trying to filter and learn because we don't always have all the clues.
Right.
Because of that, I might say something more than what I'm willing to do. I might do more than I will normally do because I'm trying to win a situation, and that's not always built on a lie. That's just could be built on a desire. I have a desire to be with her. So now I'm doing way more than I should be doing to win her over when it might not even take that because I didn't go with the right questioning. No one taught me how to be a man. No one gave me that whole validation of how to be a man. They just told me to be a man. Right. You know, you don't cry. You know, I cried when my mama whooped me. Right. So I knew that was a lie.
Right.
But I took on that hardness, and that hardness don't get you where you need to be. I wasn't understanding of everything. It takes time.
Absolutely, Jay.
And that's why we're to this point now where we're trying to have better understanding of what we're doing. Yeah. Because people keep asking me, why are we having so many failed relationships? And they don't look at themselves. I promise you, for every failed relationship, even from the part she might have did me wrong, there's certain things that I played into it. Not saying I caused anything. I played into because of my own actions. Not always a lie. My intent. I might intend to be home on time, never be on time. I intend to take trash, never take trash out. All these are failures, okay? Of promises that she think you can fulfill and you don't. But you don't want to look at it like that. But the minute she do something major, oh my God, she the worst thing ever. Not realizing she thought you was the worst thing from all your past behavior. Not saying you was cheating. I'm getting cheating portion out of it, all right? We just going with the behavior of I am home and I ain't doing nothing. This all on you. She asked you, I ain't doing it.
Listen, that is paramount to talk about. That's profound.
Failed relationship.
Yeah, because oftentimes we can't see. We always looking for the big things. A lot of times it's the little things. It's the fact that you consistently don't take out the trash and to play that might be equated to your manhood from her perspective, right? You're not willing to take care of the home just because you won't take care of the garbage. right? And so let's talk more about that. It's time for us to take our next break. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. All right, and welcome back to Bar Talk with Jay.
That's right.
This is a very interesting show thus far, man. I love the way it's going so far.
Trying to tell you. Now, me telling you honestly, back then when I was younger, I started off with Breaking the Max. And now, everybody laugh. But now, I don't say Breaking Max no more, you know. I just tell people straight up, I send your ass to grade. You come over here. I'm just trying to tell you, come here.
Why not, man?
You don't want to come here. I'm telling
man.
you, great. Trauma, you just trying to break it down the right way. But again, it's not about that. And I ain't trying to send you there. I always say that, and everybody automatically assume it's the trauma unit because of the sexual act. Being honest with you, I'm going to send you to Brady because of the mental.
Okay.
I'm stronger in the mental game now than I was before, because before I learned lies, and then I started learning behavior. My lies was not really of my behavior. It was something that I just learned. When I learned that I was a stronger person, I started changing that because of my behavior. It was never me.
Yeah,
so
what
now,
I think about you is you tell you hit him right between the eyes.
I've got to. So as I change now, I look at things differently, so I want to do things differently. So now, mentally, I don't think half people are really ready for what I can bring, because again, I've been on both sides. So now when I come, I tell people, now, messing with me is seeing you to Grady, because you mentally might not be ready. Mm-hmm. Because again, you looking for a person who can bring something to the table. I can fill the table up.
Right.
So when a woman's saying, I'm looking for a man that can do this and that, just understand what all I can do. Because again, I'm not even telling you. But mentally, I'm there. You might be wanting to be the richest. My whole thing is, can we make the richest together? Because if I do it without you, I probably won't care for you. I'm looking to do things with a person that I can sustain. That's a person that I can grow with. Right. You know, don't get me wrong, finding sex is easy. Right. A wife is life. It's a difference. I can have sex. Anybody can. Right. But a wife is for life. Right. I'm looking for a wife later on in life where I can live my life with one. But my whole thing is, as I'm doing it, I had to find out where I was at.
Yeah. Are you looking for a wife, Jay?
Eventually. I had
That's a great answer.
I had one.
Yeah.
And because of what all went on, I'm not bitter of it. Yeah. But I want more. Yeah. And I want to find somebody that can help complete me.
Okay. I like that, man. I like
and in relationship, most people are just looking to who can satisfy me. Right. That's not a person that I would look for as long term. That's a person I'm looking for satisfaction. Can you do this right now? You can break my back. That don't mean I want you for life. That don't mean I want you. That just mean the last person I was with didn't do it. I need you to finish it, okay? Right. Now that you're done, I'm done with you. Right. And that's why some people get into their feelings, because I said I can do it. I'm just being honest. No, she being cold. Because she said he didn't do it. I just need you to finish it. Yeah. But she ain't say I want to be with you. Right. She just used you. Use the joker. Right. You are a person that she just used for a moment that you felt good because I said I can do it. I made her feel good, but she don't see nothing different in you. She already know you. People play you all the time. And that's what happens when you put yourself out there. Okay. Watch it. Because a lot of times, relationships is a game. And it's a game that you got to take serious, because everybody don't play fair.
Everybody don't play fair.
And the rules that you call might not have been called at the beginning. And reneging happens all the time.
Yeah.
You didn't call the rule, so I'm doing it.
And it's not necessarily about, calling the rule, but sometimes you change your mind.
Put it like this.
And what you were once open to, you might not be open to anymore. And that's another reason relationships fail.
Well, assumption is a failure too. Remember,
we communicate those.
If we dated and you think that we dating in a monogamous relationship, you gonna think I reneged when I slept with somebody else.
Right.
No, you had a falseness in believing in the relationship as a monogamous one without a conversation.
Right.
So when you find out that I'm out here doing something else,
Right.
you're going to get mad. Because I didn't know you was doing this. Why didn't you tell me? Well, I didn't know that was something that needed to be told when it was never a conversation. We dating.
Right.
And when you hear somebody say they dating and they ain't looking for a serious relationship, quit thinking they lying.
Right.
Because I ain't. When I said it, and I'm going back to me, I don't know about everybody else. When I said I ain't looking for it, and this is me being truthful away from the lies. Because I'm going to show y'all the difference. That's why I want to do this way. Because when I did it the other way, I got what I got and I deserve it. Now, you try to be more honest. And you tell people I'm not looking for a monogamous relationship. You know, I'm just dating, I'm doing things. I got a lot going on in my world and my plate. Now, that's being very honest.
Okay.
And anybody know me knows between my trucking business and the show, I do have a lot on my plate.
Yes, you do.
Not making excuses, I'm just being honest. Now, you tell that to somebody, that's his game. Now, they put me down like I'm lying. I did.
so
And I was very honest.
Right. And so when you ain't got time for them, then
When I don't, they be like, okay, so you just gonna use that line to the day you die. Because again, they made their own assumption of what they feel my life's about. So again, it ain't always you.
yeah.
And again, you can do all the right things and they can still put you in that category.
Right.
No one has to believe you. Please believe you can be honest as all get out. That don't mean jack to a person that don't believe you. You know honestly don't mean that? It's not in my perception. I didn't perceive this shit you were saying anyway. I don't even look at you like that. That's you.
Right.
I'm gonna put you over here and that's what you for.
Right.
So you just being honest, go lucky, and don't think nothing come back. I get come back all the time. I get snap back.
Okay.
You know, well, why don't you? You just want to be a hoe. You want. First of all, quit calling me what I don't really feel I am. I don't really care to respond to it, but you keep throwing it at me. I'm gonna respond to anything that you feel like aggressive. You want to keep giving to me,
Right.
because I'm gonna rebuke anything that I don't feel is on my spirit.
Right.
Don't weigh my spirit down with your falseness.
Right.
Just because I did not validate you in what your thoughts was, doesn't mean I'm not my own validation.
Right.
I validate by my work, my ethics, my drive, not by satisfying your will, because your will might not be mine. But I'm too busy trying to satisfy somebody else and I don't live my way. Don't make sense to me. That's why I tell people, calm themselves down, get right with self, and then you can start understanding with somebody else's wealth.
Right.
Because people have value.
Absolutely.
You have to see it.
Absolutely.
But when you see it and they have it and they humble about it, I love humbleness. Because when they have it, they shouldn't be flaunting it.
Right.
If they gotta wear it, you gotta see it to believe it, then I promise you, I don't think you really know it.
Yeah.
Because a person that got it, they'll sit there humbly, not saying nothing. And they have more support for you and have more thoughts of where they can take you compared to a person that's like, yo, wherever you can pay for us to go,
right.
that's where we go. A person that can be broke can think of where we can go without a lot of money.
Right.
Because we shouldn't have to spend, even if we have a lot of money, but we can invest more money.
Yeah.
Now, that's a person you want on your team.
Right.
But unfortunately, that might be somebody you got on your bench or in your fan because of your perception of people.
Right. Listen, man, I gotta slow you down, man, because you saying too many of these things that we can't cover. You talked about
we go back.
Going into these relationships, people are not telling the truth.
I did that.
You talked about people are weighing your spirit versus falseness, you know, and not really knowing who you are. When you go into a relationship and you're weighing that person on some falseness of some sort, when you finally see the truth, it may shock you. It may turn you off. Right? Yeah, exactly. You talked about people not being a team player. It's another great reason why there's so much breakup. Here's a big one. This is major right here. People not seeing your value. It probably has to do with every relationship, because a lot of relationships end in anxiety, you know, fussing and fighting and, you know, major disagreement and not talking to each other, etc. And, you know, if you look back over, if you were with that person for any period of time, they offered some value to your life. But we oftentimes will throw that out, particularly at the end when we don't see eye to eye. You also talked about looking for someone to bring something to the table. And when we get in these relationships, sometimes we think they bringing something to the table, but we don't really see it all the time, and we don't really feel it all the time. And then when we realize that they didn't bring that to the table, that's probably a reason to get rid of them. That's probably a reason to change your mind about them, right? There's just a ton of reasons why people don't come together. They just don't see eye to eye. They don't see eye to eye on family. They don't see eye to eye on money. They don't see eye to eye on how you clean up your house or take care of your bills. They don't see eye to eye on, how much time you spend away from the home or how much time you spend with the family. There's all these little things, and ultimately they come down to a few categories.
Before you do the category, can I give you one more?
Yeah.
That's fun?
Yeah.
Self-sabotage. Self-sabotage.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in a relationship knowing that they really don't even want to be in a relationship, and they self-sabotage, which could be good for them because of a fear of being with somebody, not knowing if it's going to work or not. It's like, I would rather just sabotage it and ruin it than go all the way through with it. And it becomes a sickness or a helplessness. I don't know what all it is, because I've seen it happen countless times for no good reason. Things going good, and they purposely stop the things that they was doing because they felt like you was going to go crazy. I know you was going to go crazy, so I stopped giving you the good loving. I stopped giving you all the phone calls, the attention, because it happened in my past. Somebody else did me this way. And all of a sudden, you getting judged off of another person's behavior that you didn't know, because you might have said something or did something that made them have a flashback of somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I really like to say that right there is somewhere where we need to talk more about. Because if you don't get healed from that, your relationships will never grow.
Yeah.
Because you're holding on to something that somebody else might not be bringing. You're automatically validating a behavior off of somebody else's behavior.
Absolutely.
And it's not fair, because everybody's different.
Absolutely.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be mistreated.
Yeah.
Okay?
And relationships break up because of that all the time.
Automatically. Automatically assuming that it's going to go that way because he showed me the sign, girl. You already know how that is, and he ain't going to be nothing different. But he didn't show you the whole. You seen enough that you made a quick judgment.
Right. You didn't see his value.
Right?
Because
all that other stuff didn't mean nothing. Because I remember that one day, because he took me out and he hit me, and I know this was coming next. He's showing me already.
Well, if he hit you, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because he hit you. That person hit you, and you stayed, and you went through that abuse.
Right.
The next person that's talking to you ain't trying to hit you, but telling you don't enter my space, because now you are aggressive. Right. Remember, you're in an abusive relationship. There's a lot of help that both parties need to get looked at. Well, think about it. If you walking up on a person all the time, you invade people's space. Yeah. Now, I might not be trying to hit you, but I'm trying to get you back because I don't know what you're trying to do.
Right.
So now at this point, you thinking I'm being aggressive. No, I'm trying to figure out, why are you all up on me, knowing you upset and you talking. I don't want that to happen. So I ain't trying to push you, but I'm trying to get you away from me. But to her, so you trying to get swing.
And you know what,
swing.
That's a great example
and that's
of people perhaps not being healed from their previous relationship, right? And that's another main reason why relationships fail.
Carrying baggage.
Because they're carrying baggage. They're carrying these weights around, and I have empathy for all people because they just don't know that they don't know what they don't know.
Can I give you one more? Just one more.
History is repeating itself.
Can I have one more?
You need to find the common denominator.
This one just for fun, and I don't understand why people do this. Why in the hell would you bring up your ex? Well, he used to do this, and too bad you don't do this. What is you thinking? It's really gonna change this? Listen,
preach, Jay. Go ahead.
I'll help you out all day long. If you like something, tell me what you like.
Right.
Don't tell me what another dude did for you. I don't understand why people do that. Number one thing is, you want to be treated a certain way? Don't tell me how they treated you. What they got to do with me? Tell me you. The learning curve is understanding you. Don't tell me somebody else and make me want to be somebody else. As a grown, strong man, I don't want to repeat another man. Right. If he hit, that ain't my intent.
Right.
But you're going to keep telling me about all you've been through.
Right.
When I'm trying to learn you. Your fears are starting to become my problem.
Right. Because I promise you, you really don't want me to be explaining my past like that. You don't really want me to be putting it out there. I would never put anything out there.
Why? why?
like that.
You want to know why I broke
What
back?
X, Y, and Z
I can explain it, but it kind of self.
Yeah, but you really don't want to hear it, yeah.
But if you want to hear how I did them, hey, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if we gonna do the same thing after
Yeah.
you hear. Well, it might have
You know,
I
sometimes
don't know how
yes.
freaky
You
y'all.
know, sometimes that's, people glorifying skeletons. You know what I mean?
They can glorify, or I can satisfy. It's up to you.
How the fish get bigger every year, the
I don't
story
know.
will change in their favor, and you know they'll tell you one side, but they won't tell you the other side.
Well, you know,
That's
I
how
tell
it
you all
typically goes.
sides.
Yeah. Listen, it's time for another break, and I love this dialogue. Jay, you were on fire this segment,
gonna have
man.
some fun.
Yeah, man, I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about,
I'm doing
bro.
this.
So y'all hold on, stay tuned. We're gonna be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. It's an incredible dialogue. Barbara put together a list of reasons that relationships fail.
Is she snitching?
And at the very top of her list, she says trust issues.
Ooh, hang on. Hold on. We're going to have to follow this one. Trust.
Trust
Talk about
issues.
this one.
Trust issues.
You know, a lot of trust comes from past.
Yeah.
Okay?
Trauma.
So when you go through something in your own life and you don't really seek help or anything, it becomes more.
Yeah.
So your trust is based off of your past.
How
Because truthfully, I trust up until something happens.
Right. How about
But
you?
I will change if something keep happening.
You trust until there's 2 or 3 times a week you go missing. And I just don't have no explanation for that.
Now remember.
And so now am I supposed to continue to trust? Nope.
Well,
Because you are showing something, you are showing me something that looks just like something isn't right. And I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to fade it. I'm not going to act like it's not happening, right? So yeah, trust issues can be from both sides. Maybe trust issues stem from perhaps you have cheated. One, the male or the female, the wife or the husband, have cheated before. And so sometimes a relationship can overcome it.
Right.
But there are relationships that have, their whole relationship has a statute of limitation based on that trust. Like that, if that trust is deeply ridden, particularly for a valid reason, then it may not hold the relationship together for longer than a couple of years. Right?
I'm gonna tell you like
Or
this:
maybe for another 6
if
months. or
you
so.
cross a person's true morals, then please understand, they might let it go. They're not gonna ever forgive,
They're not gonna-
and it's gonna stay in their soul.
Yeah.
If a person crosses you in that fashion and form, you have to let go.
You have to
Because
let go.
at that point,
Absolutely.
you're going to relapse. You're
Right.
going to go back to it. There's no answer that's going to satisfy you.
Well,
You're
listen,
trying to satisfy something that totally went against you.
Yeah, this is just for those people who really want to fight for their relationships. If there are trust issues and they are validated, I think it's important to assess the genuineness of the person who cheated. That people can change, and people will change oftentimes given the opportunity.
How we
But-
validate? You know he like what he like.
Okay, you know he liked what he liked, but he made a mistake. He was thinking short. He was thinking like a young man. He now has realized that the fact that maybe he's about to lose you, that he's gonna do what he's supposed to do. And I have met many of men who have cheated and then decided that, hey, I'm out the game. I'm going home. I'm staying faithful to my wife, and whatever that thought process was, they changed their mind.
But they fought.
They fought.
I'm gonna tell you
They
right
fought.
now.
They had
if
to
you deal with anybody that do you wrong, I ain't gonna just say cheat, because I want to get away from the myth everybody cheats. Forget all that. I really don't believe that, and I don't think that's the truth. So I'm not gonna speak it to the universe what I don't believe. I don't believe everybody cheats. I believe people do things, but they ain't always cheat. So we need to get away from a word that I really feel like it shouldn't be used.
But so much of it's going on, man.
Well,
77% of married couples.
That's what they say.
It's going on a lot.
That's what they say. But everybody ain't married.
There's a lot of reason for mistrust.
I can't say.
Well,
But what I can say is, when you really look at the bigger picture, and you got the cheating, and you got everything going on, go back to you.
Yeah, you got to go back to you. Absolutely.
You have to go back to you.
Absolutely.
You holding on to somebody else and you ain't looking at you. Accountability.
There you go.
Accountability is back to you because I can't control what another person is doing.
Right.
All right? But if I'm not showing you these actions and I'm showing you my goodness and it's not enough, then I have to move on.
You have to
I
move on.
cannot sit here and tell a person to fight
move
for
on.
something, but I promise you, if a person starts understanding your wealth, your worth, and the fact that you ain't doing this, they should be willing to fight for you. You shouldn't have to do no more than your goodness of what you've been doing. At that point, a person has to prove to you that I really want you. Because your behavior showed me you want everybody else.
Or something
That behavior,
else. Right.
do you.
Right.
I'm going to go here. But at that point, a person should be fighting for you.
Absolutely.
When I say fighting for you, it's because I know you never gave up on me. So now I got to prove to you I wouldn't give up on you.
Right. And that's the guy who changes his mind and said, I'm not going to ever do that again. Or the woman who says that.
You can stay on that court together.
You
can ball.
The pivot point here is that they have to be sincere. And you can see the truth. You can see if they bullshit. You can see if they're just trying to get back in the house or just trying to get back in. You can see if they're real about it or not. And you have to make those assessments. If you don't make the assessment, you're going to end up being disappointed with the outcome.
I can tell you.
Because you're now going to be on a path that you can't even stand on that ground because you don't even know who you're operating with.
If you just left somebody and they ain't trying to fight to be back with you, then you left on good cause.
There you go.
Because
you
if you are a
cause.
good person,
right?
And again, everybody ain't no good person. So quit saying to yourself, "You good." You know you ain't. You
already know you ain't
right next to a thought.
hill of beans.
Right next to a thought. Look at that. Talking about he doing. You know you doing thought stuff. Just like listen, I ain't judging. I'm just saying you over there talking ain't doing. But then you want to talk about him.
Right.
Really, for a person that's good.
Right.
Check and understand. If you really doing good things and a person see it, they should be wanting to fight
They'll be with you. Right. But
if they ain't,
and if you're really doing some bad stuff, they also gonna see that, and then they gonna find a way to turn away from you. Let's talk. The next point that Barbara brings up.
What's that?
Is different expectations.
Ooh. Ow.
Right?
Man, she's so deep.
And listen, this is good stuff. This is why people break up. Why relationships.
That's the reason why people shouldn't be together.
Why
I didn't have
relationships
expectations of no damn relationship. I just wanted to smash, but you didn't say it.
I know, but then you ended up with her going to the holiday party, and then you bought her some flowers and candy for Valentine's Day.
I can't get that money back either.
And then you took on a vacation, and then you be snuggled up with her 2 Sundays out the month, and all of a sudden you in a relationship.
I spent enough I need to be. You did all that. You wanted one.
You're damn right.
Now,
and you know you do it. We all do it. You know what I'm saying?
When you do that, you also gave her the perception
that you love her, that you like her, that you want to be with her, that you care for her.
fed into.
Yeah.
Because you never let her know, I didn't want all this.
Right.
You was too busy trying to live up to get the necessarily quick.
I'm telling you, what? I get into this dilemma all the time because I love to give. I love to do things for people. And but it gets so misconstrued so often. You know what I mean?
Because I be wanting to pass my bills over to you. Can you handle that crap? But you got to remember, it's a respect level.
Yeah.
Don't just because a person is a giver don't mean I have to use. See, that's where you become a better friend. Not just because I got a friend that's a giver that gives all the time, that do all this. It'll make you not want to be what you are. No, you are encouraged. Right. I encourage you instead of take from you.
Right.
So if I'm with a person, it shouldn't be a take. But the problem is, I want something. I look at you, you look sexy, you're nice, you're moist, you're shaped right. Yeah. I want to see how you can ride. Listen, how do I approach it? If I tell you all this, it might not give me my desired outcome. I'll be like, you are a very nice looking young lady, shaped, oh my goodness. I always say the Coca-Cola bottle, but it wouldn't give you no justice, okay? Because Coca-Cola is addictive and so am I. Now, you got some macaronis out there that might give you that. My whole thing is, she might not be saying you like that. All I'm saying to you is, if you can be more honest and say, hey, I was really looking to see if I could date you, and treat a person how you want to be treated. At least take them out to eat. reason I say that, she might be like, well, we can just go back to my place, because she might cut it short because she already has the same intent. But my whole thing is, I ain't got to sell you short.
Yeah.
Because again,
expectations ruin relationships.
Okay.
And they oftentimes do, because I have a desire for X, and he ought to know that, or she ought to know that.
She should, but she don't.
But she don't.
Because she got her own.
Right? Or because she's doing her own thing, whatever. He's doing his own thing, and then when those expectations are disappointed, it creates challenge in the relationship. The secret to expectations is communication. As simple as that. Right?
So communication is a key factor.
And so if you would never assume that somebody is going to do X, Y, and Z, or even sometimes potentially be X, Y, and Z. I'm the guy that I don't really want to cut no grass. I don't want to be. You can't make me into that kind of man. I'm not going to be under the hood. I'm not going to cut grass. I'm going to do all that. My lifestyle is I pay for somebody to get it done, and we hold them accountable. And that's how we get it done. I don't use my time, effort, and energy to do those things. I'm not going to be putting up ceiling fans and cabinets in the garage.
You ain't got to throw daggers at my ass. I mean, really grass.
But listen, there are many women that have passed me in my life who that was a part of their expectation. Their expectation
because
was
they dated me.
A man.
I did all of that.
A man who's going to be a handyman. They consider that a handyman, and I didn't fit that equation. So they had some false expectations.
I hold that silver fan rocking like a bus. I went battle work for day.
And then
no one was coming down.
She gonna talk about your ass.
I don't care. I got it.
That
fan up there, man. I'm trying to get it real quick because I know it's coming down.
How about this one? Relationships fail today because people are moving through life at different speeds. And have you ever met somebody who just is kind of behind the curve? They're just behind. They can't come up.
Said he's slow.
Not to say that they are slow, but they may be slow to change. You ever tell somebody something like, hey man, you ought to try this, that, and the other, because it's from your proven experience, and and they don't try it, or it takes them 6 months or a year to try it, and you're like, man, I told you that last year you could have made $500,000 doing shit. I told you. So we're moving through life at different speeds, and I think that happens among people all the time.
Yes, it does.
There are people who think my lifestyle is fast paced. Because every night I eat out. I might go out a couple times a week if I want to. I might not come home 3 or 4 days. But people think that lifestyle is fast. So I got to be out doing something wrong if I'm carrying those kind of hours. I leave home at 8 o'clock and I don't get home till 3 a.m. on an average day, or 12 a.m. or whatever the case may be. They don't understand that. Because the men in their world, the men that they know, they get home at 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and they spend quality time with the family, and they're not trying to run a business after hours, and they're out cutting the grass, right? They're out fixing the plumbing and all that other stuff. So yeah, different speeds through life can be a major issue. How about compatibility issues? Huge. We're just not compatible. You think about the road, I think about stars, and not one is not right or wrong or indifferent, but we just don't see eye to eye.
Yeah, and the road ain't gonna ever meet that star.
Yeah, and the conversation is usually bland, but in the excitement of meeting someone and liking them and potentially falling in love, sometimes those compatibility issues don't come out for a while.
Why would they? I'm trying to smash.
They don't.
You a star that I'm about to bring on.
You want to smash?
What?
But watch it. Next year, right? You're gonna want somebody to lay down and have a great conversation with you.
Yeah, but that's next year. What about right
listen, and she can't do that.
She might not,
right?
Or I won't know it till I get in it.
Or he can't do that.
I'm a silver comment, baby. I'm running to the star.
Now, man.
Well, I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't know. But guess what?
Listen,
as a comment, and I hit that star.
Okay.
We can make a black hole. Yeah, I'm trying to change the word. I'm just trying to tell you, you don't know what can happen.
There can be great incompatibility in sex.
Yeah, the black hole can be definitely incompatible. You ain't know where you
People
go.
Can, maybe they don't like to have sex as much as you do, or the unique ways that you like it, or maybe they don't like to try new stuff. They don't like change. maybe they, maybe she's not the, the prissy, sexy, get dressed up type of guy, So compatibility is a major issue when it comes to relationships that are failing. We talked about communication. Let's read this one together.
What's up?
Narcissism, a disorder where people have their own importance and need for admiration. It kind of sounds like selfishness to me.
Hell no, it's like a sickness.
Something to go
A
on.
narcissist.
Okay.
That don't even sound right.
Narcissistic.
Yeah, narcissistic.
Right.
That's
So
like,
let me give you an example.
Ain't
Let's say that you have a lady who's always about showing off her body.
Ooh, yeah. Is she sexy though?
She's super sexy.
Oh,
right?
yes. Fine.
Yeah, she's sexy.
Looking
She's fine.
good.
You with me here?
Oh, no. I'm imagining that. You got me in my thoughts.
You leaving me every time, man.
I mean, you don't want to keep giving them in my brain. You can't do that.
I know, but go down
a
this
visual,
path, right?
A visual. Okay,
So, she's the kind of person that she likes to show her body,
oh, fuck. Oh, yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
And most men, it sounds like you're different quality. guy.
Not really. I'm really
Most
there.
men is not gonna want his woman flaunting her body all over town.
Is she
all
with
over
me or
the
without
place.
me?
Both. Everywhere she go, that's what she do. She wearing. You can see the thong under her dress.
Okay.
She wear dresses.
I mean, but
you
you
can
can
kind of
see the
see
thong?
through.
But you see the
Right?
thong?
This your lady now.
I know,
This
but
your-
you can see the thong. She ain't my lady.
This your ride
I
or die.
need some ass that I ain't seen it.
Right.
I see some clap.
This your ride or die. You know. What I'm
Ain't no ride or die. Nah, I've been. I can't see the thong now. I see the
in
thong.
this conversation.
Okay, anyway, I'm back. No, you is. I'm
in this
with
conversation. You ain't, man.
I'm with you, I'm
Going
with
to
you.
the left.
No, I was
What are we
giving you
talking
I
about?
like. I like
What are we
not
talking
seeing the thong. But my woman
Your
is
lady.
going around
She out of hand with shit. man.
is
That's what I'm
showing
talking
her
about.
body
Yeah.
to the world.
Yeah, she had PTA meetings, she in the neighbors and
Hey.
out in the street at the
Hey.
mailbox.
Hey, PTA, them kids, them mamas need to understand. You ain't got it, she do.
Don't go to the left, Jay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, my whole thing is this. Is remember this. And it's one of the things I can tell you is if that's how you met her, and that's how you talk to her, and that's how she was, why are you trying to change her?
How about this?
Now,
How about
the reason
this?
I say that,
How about
you
this?
say that is because again, expectation.
How about
You
this?
seen what you like just like I see.
Okay.
But you trying to change what I already know
Watch this.
can be great at where they at and they can change on their own.
If you go to her house,
Uh-huh.
the cans are lined up and everything is just in its absolutely perfect. And then you happen to be over there, you move something, and a few minutes later she comes and she just kind of move it back. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, cook up.
She is one of those people that everything has to be exactly like she wants it, right?
Uh-huh.
Now you go to your house is a little more laissez-faire, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? You dirty up to clean up. And that's, you just live life. That's
Right.
how white people do
Ain't
it,
nothing
right?
wrong with it.
But that's not her. She want to clean as we go.
Right.
And like there should never be a cup in the sink because we don't put cups in the sink when the sink is empty, right? She's narcissistic about this, right?
Okay.
What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word that go along with this.
She crazy. That's what I'm telling you. If we gotta have the sex the same way every time, they ain't narcissistic. She gone. She fired. I'm just trying to tell you. If you keep your cabinet in a certain way, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
If you go to somebody else's house, you have to be, to me, compatible to realize they might not see you that way,
Right.
but can you adapt to them?
Yeah,
So my
but-
whole thing is, she come to my place, see my cabinets, I'm clean, but I ain't as organized as she is. If she can't take that off the rip, then that's something she has to let me know. Why? It's at the beginning.
But she's not
It's
gonna
not
run a
fair.
good thing so
What you
early.
mean? No, it ain't gonna be a good thing.
She
It's
don't-
gonna be a horrible
She's
thing.
not gonna run a
That's
good thing
not
early.
me. Now, if she's coming to show me order and show me what she can do for me, then it might something work for me. But again, if it's how you approach,
Yeah.
you come in and you just changing my stuff,
Compulsive.
and you obsessively telling me what I can't do. I ain't asked you to be my mom.
Listen,
you won't even pay my bills, so take your behind back to your address.
Narcissism ruin relationships.
It can.
Right? Life habits abuse, alcohol, gambling, drugs, sexual addiction.
I like your drink.
I
I like sex too.
Are you addicted?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I sure.
Yeah.
I gotta have it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't need no class.
That's the first
Right.
step.
I might be able to teach it.
Right.
I'll stand up. I'm Jeremiah, Bar Talk with Jay, and I like sex. I endorse this commercial.
So let me ask you this question.
What's that?
If you you met Mrs. Wright,
Mhm.
and you know something happened shortly after y'all got married,
Mhm.
would you stay faithful to your vows to her? And let's say she couldn't, you know, perform, couldn't have sex with you anymore. Would you stay?
Do her
with
mouth
her?
work?
I mean, no.
Do some work. Yeah. Her ear, nose,
No matter
something.
what it is, she can't. She just can't please you. Like
She
used to
can't.
please you. So are you gonna stay there
Anything.
for your vows?
I mean, she can't do nothing. Paraplegic.
Pull a video on for you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that helps.
for a few days.
Now, look at it like this. If I'm a nympho and I love to have sex,
Mhm.
and she satisfied me where I am so happy to be with her, and something happened to her, it'll kill my sex drive. Because she is a person.
Perhaps.
No reason ain't no perhaps. Because I stopped having sex for others. I'm having sex for her.
Right.
My sex
Perhaps.
drive would change because see, my whole life changes. Because see, there's a difference between a wife for life and a smash.
Yeah.
If I'm smashing for a satisfaction that could be false,
Yeah.
that's just game.
Yeah.
But when you get somebody to satisfy you and complete you, I promise you, when something happens to her, it happens to you. It's not saying you won't have a sex drive, ever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying how you look at her. Because she's giving you something that you might not
Yeah.
care to be complete with somebody else no more.
Yeah.
But right now, when you having fun, that's fun.
Yeah. See,
But
when
please
I
understand,
was
you got
married,
that right one.
when I was married,
Your thing might not work,
My
man.
sex life-
I'm just saying, you can take that blue pill. Talking about 4 hours, still won't last long.
Yeah,
Ain't the same person.
Hey, listen, y'all stay tuned. We're gonna be right back. More Bar Talk with you.
Facebook and everything else. I had a treat. Y'all was able to hear some of the sidebar stuff that we be talking about.
Yeah.
But let's get back because again, Craftmatic got some things. I wasn't with you, Craft, but I was with you. One of the things I want to tell you is if you don't play with people that won't understand what you're doing, you get sometimes so serious that you got to realize people are playing games because they ain't serious. And if I don't play, then we can't get that whole conversation to get people to see where they at. We've been playing so much, we're not serious. I had to get serious in dating to realize that there are certain things that I have to bring to the table. First, I have to understand myself. Okay? When they talk about bringing something to the table, one of the most important things is an understanding of where you're going and you.
Right.
Secondly, are you a committed man to what you say you're going to do? Now that's putting action behind words, but speaking words in a positive way to get to where you want to be. That means a person that's planning and understand where they want to be. That right there takes growth. There's young people that can do it off the rip, and there's other people that just learn how to do it. Either one, I applaud. Ones that just go through life, understand it's more to it. And I ain't talking about you. I was there. It's not a dig. It's no knives being thrown. This right here is iron sharpening iron, trying to get you to a better place in a relationship and in your job. Because again, a lot of people tell me, by me being an entrepreneur out there in the world, I don't want to work for nobody. I understand what you're saying, but you don't understand what you're saying.
Right.
It is a double-edged sword. You have to know some things to be an owner of some things. Just to inherit it, you can lose it. Because no one really taught you. A lot of times you got to work through it for you can build up a confidence to do it. Now, a lot of jobs is being handed down because somebody else did it, and then you just get awarded it. Like you give it to your son or a person that you feel, but they don't have the tools like you did. That's why I really feel like they got to be groomed. And that's why with my sons, I'm talking to them, I'm grooming them to be the best entrepreneur they want to be. Not me. You can't follow dad's all footsteps. It's not always about that because God gave everybody a gift. You have to figure it out as a coach. I have to coach people into greatness. Quit looking at yourself, but look at other people, and I can get satisfaction and fulfillment seeing other people happy, realizing they're their greatest potential compared to a failure.
There you go.
Failure is not understanding yourself.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot.
And that's a great point to make when it talks about relationships. Failure, there's a lot of self in the failure of relationships.
I know.
And one of the other major reasons why relationships fail is because people won't take constructive criticism.
It's hard.
They will not listen to their loved one. Maybe they think their loved one is being shallow or being too picky or not taking enough risks. There are dozens of reasons, but not willing to change is a major reason why relationships don't work and relationships fail. As life moves, you have to be willing to change. You cannot be the same person in the first year that you are in the third year and the fourth year. You should be exemplifying some better behaviors and better attitudes, and you should have more cohesion, and you should have more communication, and you should be able to, somewhere in that equation, you're going to be able to speak your mind and not have it held against you. Because, what you have to say may hurt, but you're now operating at a deeper level of love, deeper level of a deeper level of commitment, and that should offer you the opportunity to be able to express yourself a little more. It should.
The only sad thing,
but it may not sometimes.
Some people idolize folks. And when you idolize somebody, you give them more power, and God told you never to idolize anyone for failure. So again, a lot of times you idolize.
Yeah.
That is your own destruction.
Right.
I told you one of the number one reasons relationships fail, self-destruction. You going into it the wrong way.
Right.
I can't do nothing because this person got it all.
Right.
Okay, you forgot about your own self-wealth. It's like I need to stay with him because of what he do. That's like getting with a celebrity and feeling like you're a nobody and feel like I have to ride with anything. If you don't have the power to understand of you, the person that's playing you will continue to play you.
Will continue to play you.
My whole thing is even the wealthy understand importance.
Yeah.
Importance of people and value.
Right.
But if I can get away without it, oh my goodness, I already got it. So why do I need? And that's where you start getting an ego. See, that's the ego portion of some other people.
That getting away with it thing, that's a troublesome issue. That's a troublesome issue.
Evilness, but
because I didn't say nothing about it, you think you got away with it.
Well, first of all, if you didn't say anything, you didn't communicate anything, then at that point, you can't assume anything. Because you didn't say nothing.
Well, no.
So no assumption.
That's a BS. That's some BS.
But you didn't say nothing.
No, I didn't say nothing.
I stayed out late. Just
because I didn't say nothing don't mean I wasn't upset about the issue.
Oh, so you was quiet about it. I
was quiet about it. You know why I was quiet about it? Because I wanted to see if that's who you really are. The things happen in life. I also want to see how you handle that situation.
I handled it quite well.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. Now you know that you normally go out. You come home with the fellas at midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever. The married, probably out there. But you come home at 3 o'clock on this particular night, and watch this. What you did was you acted like it meant nothing. Right? And so now I'm thinking to myself, now he know that he was gone a little extra long, and I may smell a little perfume on him or something, or he ain't act right, he went straight to the shower, or whatever the case may be, but you don't come and acknowledge it to me. You don't come and acknowledge, so now I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. So, she thinks she can get away with anything, but that's not the truth. No. What that is that's a taking for granted. Oh, they didn't say anything, so I got away with it. Right. That's one of those playing games situations. Right. Just because you ain't say nothing, don't mean it's not an upsetting issue or circumstance.
I don't know who you dating, but a black woman gonna be all night, bro. They will file you your job the next day.
No, the smart ones won't. The smart ones will sit back. The smart ones will sit back and they'll watch you. They'll watch you basically break your own back. Because because they're gonna be like, you think you fooling somebody, but I got you on lock just because I ain't say nothing. Maybe I didn't want to upset the environment tonight, tomorrow, this weekend with a family event or whatever. But I didn't like that crap. I didn't like what you did, and then if I bring it to you and you snap back like I did something wrong, now we got another issue.
No, it's a fight.
Right?
That's how
This is why relationships break up. Right?
Yeah.
This is another major issue
Why a lot of people in jail.
why relationships fail. Barbara also had on the list here growing apart. You've grown apart. Things get old, things get stale, you get out of touch with one another. And I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest challenges in relationships is a mundaneness, a staleness where there's just this repetition. And we all know families that go into this, day in and day out, it's the same things, the same way, the same events, the same talk. People, if you're not interesting, you got to stay interesting. You know what I mean? That's what first drew those people to you, right? Because you was fresh, you was on the edge, you was interesting. And just because they know your ways, they still might think you're an exciting person. They still might think that you're a go-getter or whatever those particular things might be, right?
No,
but if you start out acting like a go-getter, and you trying to go get it, and then they start living with you, and they see you ain't doing nothing, but all you've been doing was talking for a while. That's growing apart, right?
Because it's growing apart, but I'll tell you how to grow together. Because as you give a negative, I'm gonna give a positive.
Okay.
Because if I started off as a go-getter, and you come in my life, you should add value. Right. So you should see that I'm slacking off, and you should be there and try to motivate a person on.
I like.
Again, you gotta realize if you being genuine. And that's what most people are not.
Yes.
It's hard for her to make that. Because remember, a woman can make a house into a home.
Yeah.
She can take some food and make it into a meal. Okay, so if you ain't giving her nothing to deal with or understand, how can she add value to? That goes back to you. If you ain't being that good person bringing yourself to the table, how in the hell will you expect somebody to grow with you and understand you?
Right.
And you ain't showing you.
Right.
All you showing is what you want to show. I want to show my business. I want to show some of my thoughts. But I ain't showing me.
Right.
How you expect her to grow with you and the only thing you showing is a side of you.
Yeah.
But then you say, okay, it's her fault. She ain't really bring nothing to the table.
Yeah.
You got to understand what you bring. That's why I say reflection is a mug. Because a lot of people can go back. And they say, I grew up this, but you didn't want to admit it then. If you just would have said something, she had an opportunity to show you more. But no, you too busy stuck on you. Because I promise you, when you're making moves, you get an ego. If you didn't, you good. I promise you, a lot of times when you work a plan and it becomes successful, it's not about riches. It's about understanding the plan and working it. It is successful and it's a great feeling. I promise you, it gives you ego. Because I have failed at a lot of different things, and that didn't make me feel good at all.
Right.
So I had to take all these failures to make a formula to keep these failures from keep happening.
Right.
All right? Now, when you start to build that up, it's building up yourself. Integrity.
Like yeah.
As you build up integrity, you start building up an ego because you have to look at things at a higher altitude. Okay? I'm starting to soar now.
Preach,
when I wasn't soaring before.
Right.
But you got to understand everybody ain't going to soar with you.
Yeah. You know what I like about what you just said? Formula. And sometimes people break up because they got two different formulas. They got a bad formula or they got two different formulas.
Two different plans.
Their formulas don't align.
And when they don't align, you can go back to being friends before you start disrespecting.
There you go.
Remember,
there you
everything that don't work, the problem with most people is they get their feelings and emotions totally tied and they don't back up.
Right.
They keep going forward.
Right.
When you could have salvaged your friendship and you end up with a hatred.
There you go.
Hatred is from a person that you love.
And you
most
took too
time,
far.
you don't hate what you don't love. Not at least they took a loved one from you. Okay? But most of the time when you hate, it's because you love them and they did something to you and you felt like it's a betrayal of the love that you had. That's why it's a thin line between love and hate. That's why I tell you, watch it. Because again, it's emotional, but you don't go back with factual. You don't always go back with the facts. You go back with your emotions. He hurt me. How did he hurt you? Where did it happen? What all transpired? No, it is I am hurt. I want somebody to hurt with me. So I go on Facebook and I get other social media people to join me in my hurt. It ain't solving your pain. You get other people in your business. Do you, and that's what you want to do, I promise you, you're going to come out bitter. I want you to come out right.
Man, there's hundreds of nuggets that come out of this show.
Come out better, not bitter.
Let's keep moving. Here's another major issue why relationships fail.
Go ahead.
Money issues.
Well, hell, I was broke from the beginning. I look good, but I invested too much, and it wasn't always there. So to another person, oh yeah, this, that, and the other. He got this, he got that. That's because you're materialistic and you're looking at what all I have. My whole thing is, before I had this, I seen it.
Yeah.
And if I want to see more, I have to dream it.
Yeah.
So as I dream it and I'm achieving it, my whole thing is, can you add value too? Most people just want to ride on, see. My whole thing is, quit looking at that and understand a drive. A drive is in my motor, not in my ride.
Watch this. They see the drive. They see the drive. I think this is another major issue in relationships. They see your drive, but they don't believe in your cause.
Now, hang on. They don't believe in my cause, which is fair.
Yeah, watch
fair.
this.
They should have to.
Think about, I got a buddy of mine. He was what they call a urban inspirational rapper. Okay. And he loved rap. He'd been in the rap game for many years, you know, trying to make something big. He probably had 5 or 6 albums. You know, he showed me half a dozen videos that he had done. He had been in the game working hard. Now, he got with his wife, who, you know, we all believe was his business right. And so after a while, she's like, okay, you know, you got a lot of skill, you got a lot of talent. She said, but I ain't seeing no fruits coming from these dollars that we putting out. And you know, the family is kind of at bay to your dream and your goal of being this rapper. Now, you know, you 40 years old and you still trying to be a rapper, and you know, I just think you really need to make a decision, because I don't really like the money going out. Now, he could have took that a couple of ways. You know, he could have said, well, you know what? This is my ticket. I don't see you producing no $1 million opportunities. So you know, unless you're going to produce some $1 million opportunities, He could have taken the attitude. He could have took defense to it. Okay? What he ultimately did was he said, okay, baby, you're absolutely right. This is going to become my hobby, and I'm going to put it on the back burner. It won't take anything else from the family. And you know, he's very much in church. He's very spiritual, so he prayed over and talked to his pastor, because it was a meaningful part of his journey. Fast forward 5-6 years, they're divorced, and he's regretting that decision. He's saying, man, I could have put in so much work. I had so many connections right then. He was like, man, I shouldn't have turned the corner. He said, I'll never leave my dream again. And so there's a lesson to be learned there. You know, everybody's going to operate in that scenario very differently, you know.
Him and anybody that goes into this, decision is going to be made, but one of the things I can tell you is, when you pray on it, God has a way of delivering it, okay? And it's not a way you're going to see it. So again, if he chose to follow her and not take the nuggets off, he could have put that on the shelf no different than what I did with my show. This is a hobby. I'm not getting rich from it, but the bottom line is I do it. And when you get rich and you feel good for me, and she can't see the goodness of what you're doing, then she ain't right for you.
She might not be right for you, Jacob.
Hold on, but I'm not dogging her. I'm not picking on that. I'm picking on back to your drive. You can't take my drive away.
Right.
When you taking my drive away, then what do we really have?
But watch this.
She wanted her own. I wanted all to me.
Listen, no, she wanted what you wanted, but she don't see it materializing.
That's just,
you know what I'm saying? That's the point. So it's not the fact that she don't believe in her husband. She don't believe in the drive. But she's saying, hey, baby, you spent 10 grand last year on this project, and we ain't seen no fruits, right? So here's the other side. Here's the other side of the equation, right? That if you are a dreamer and you have a goal and you have an objective, and I think everybody in this room probably fits in this equation, it's hard to go out and put forth effort towards your greater purpose, what you consider your dreams and your goals, only to come home and have somebody kind of look down on you for doing what you do. It's real hard to be in a relationship with somebody who can't see you and who can't feel you and can't feel your purpose. And so it may not have necessarily been for a while, it may not have been that she said anything, right? But sometimes she may be like, oh, okay, you spend another $200 on that, you know? And she ain't say any more about it. She was like, baby, I spent $300. Oh, okay, you spent $300 on that, all right. And so her whole attitude, her demeanor is starting to wean over time. she's being a little less supportive, and she may not be unjustified. You know, we may be fighting for a dream that's really high in the sky, and you know, she's not going to let you leave 10 years of the family's prosperity on the table because you're chasing this dream. You know, she's going to bring you a little bit back into reality. So but it's hard to be with somebody who don't feel your dreams and your goals.
He gave his
somebody cheated, and I think it was out of the equation. Actually, she cheated. You know,
okay, so hold on. She cheated.
Yeah, she cheated.
And he gave up his goal.
Life isn't fair, right?
It ain't even about fair to me. You gotta watch what you're playing with. Because again, life is life. If this is your drive and this is what you want, you gotta make sure you work right, align with the right person. It's like, okay, you gave up, but then she went to go play. I mean, my whole thing is, it was just out of alignment. And that's what you don't check.
But it wasn't out of alignment all the time.
No, my whole thing is...
It became out of alignment several years into the relationship.
When I'm going down and my tire wearing on one side, I'm starting to see what side my alignment is off. So if she pointing out things, then she rolling with me. I see where it's off. If I see we spending too much money over here and we need to pull back, that don't mean I have to stop my drink. That means I might have to go to the recording studio. I got my own way of doing it at home. There's different ways to look at it.
Right.
You can't just close a vision, close a dream to nothing. But hold on. When a person is working with you, they find other ways to talk to you. Baby, you were spending a lot of money on this. Can we do something, you know, because we're falling short on our bill. Yeah. At this point, she ain't gave up on my dream.
Right.
She just making sure we don't fall on our face.
Right.
At that point, I realized that yes, we have to make some changes. I get it.
Right.
When, I can't get my Louis bag. I can't see. People are materialistic. If I can't get your material things to transform, don't hold my dreams back because I'm spending it because you want something other than me. The kids can't have their Gucci, their Louis because you too busy in the studio. We spent $5,000 on that. I could have spent it on the kids. I'm investing. People don't know what an investment is. But so if she was ghetto, she don't know an investment, and then you trying to show her investment, and she don't know nothing about it, it ain't gonna be no learning. It's gonna be a self-desire. I desire to see that money. I desire to see my kids with that money because you wasted it because I don't see your dream.
Yeah.
And that right there is out of alignment.
It is out of alignment, but it can work either way.
It can.
Your Mrs. Wright could just be, you know, on this thing to have this business, and she has this venture, and she got this plan, and she's laser focused on it. And as much as you love her and as much time as you spend with her, you really don't understand. You don't understand the product, you don't understand the vision, you don't understand the goal. But she's, you know, perhaps you don't care to. You know, maybe you're not interested in the subject. You know,
I want to.
Yeah, you may want to. But
if
listen,
I care,
when you get involved,
I just want to get
involved, it changes the game.
I just want to. Can I get some? While you talk about it, am I gonna get some?
Oh my God!
That's my point. Can I get? I mean, listen. You talk about it. And can you bend over and tell me why you in doggy style?
Let me ask you this.
Look
question.
in the mirror.
What have you learned tonight?
Let's close
in 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Failure in relationships comes from many different things. One of the things I can tell you is lies. Lies is a deception, which means I want to lead a person. That means I'm not being true to myself, and I want to make sure I have a desired outcome. Desired outcome means that I have a thought about where I want it to be other than what I want you to believe is true. Now, this is happening more than once, more than twice. It happens so much to point that people don't want to look at it. Because we got politicians and we got governors, we got laws that's driven to get you to see things in a different way other than the truth. You got to understand you. Truth lies within yourself. Just understand everybody ain't going to understand your truth and ain't going to follow everything that you got to say. Yeah. Bottom line is there's other ways that we have to communicate, and I like to say be more fair.
Yeah.
Fair to realize that somebody else can see things in a different way because God gave us the power to choose.
Right.
We don't believe in all that. We're too busy stuck on our own way of choosing and believing everybody needs to be following, and everybody's not going to follow you, and everybody should.
There you go.
Be strong in your words. Stand behind your words and give a reason to.
Yeah. And
reason to follow.
Make sure
is in what you do.
You know.
Not by what you just say.
You know what you're talking about.
Words are foolish.
Let's quickly summarize many of the reasons, and then I just kind of like to give my 2 cents here. Some of the reasons that we talked about why relationships fail today, obviously people aren't telling the truth. Lying is a big one. Self-sabotage. We talked about looking for someone to bring something to the table. And they may not bring what you want them to bring, or as much as you think they should be bringing. People not seeing the value in you is another major reason for breakups, right? Cheating.
With my cuz?
Right. Unequally yoked expectations.
Equally yoked.
The inability to communicate. How about this? People are breaking up because they're really not healed from old relationships. Right?
Well, that's what happened. Your ass ran from him to somebody else.
They may not see eye to eye, right, on family issues or cleanliness or how to take care of the home.
And the height difference, because in bed we by you. Trust
issues. There's, moving through life at different speeds, compatibility issues, communication issues, narcissism, there's alcoholism and drugs and gang, all that other stuff. We grow apart. We have money issues. I equate relationships to kind of like a car deal, right? There's 100 things that can kill a car deal. Mm-hmm. There's 100 things that can just say, you know what, this is not ever going to work, and I might as well be out with it, right? But as a salesperson, I know that if I fight long enough, I'll find the sweet spot, right? And the customer can't do anything about this. I have to fight for this relationship. Right? The customer may have lied to me about how much money they're going to put down. They may have lied to me about what kind of payment they're willing to do. But at the end of the equation, I still got to fight for their business. I still got to fight for the car deal. And so I have to fight for the relationship. And I think that's the point of all of this. There's 100 things that can kill a relationship. And if you are operating, I'll just say in the spirit, if you're operating in the realm of righteousness, you really are looking for love, you're really looking for someone to care for and to be with, a ride or die type relationship, those are worth fighting for.
I said it earlier.
Those are absolutely worth fighting for. And the other side of that equation, if you're really looking for love and you're operating in the spirit, that God is going to send you a package that does not look like what you think it should look like, but it is absolutely perfect for you. And, again, if you don't have that relationship with the Lord, you can get, pulled, and you can get soul dreams, and you can get influenced by people in all these unique ways. But if you're really operating in the spirit, that the man or the woman who you think would be ideal for you, that person is probably not going to show up. A different picture and a different layout and a different character and a different attitude and a different history is going to show up in front of you, and they could be your soulmate, loved ones, the person who will be with you doing the right thing for a long, long time. And so we got to start fighting a little bit harder to keep our relationships. If you see BS, you got to get rid of them. But don't leave because somebody may be trying to offer you some constructive criticism. Don't leave because the environment may be a little stale and you have the ability to bring a spark to it. Don't leave because you don't see eye to eye. Try to communicate. Work toward the relationship. Work toward making it better. That's the only way a relationship is ever really going to work.
And I give you one more. If you pray for a person and you still keep in your head what a person should be, then you got a dead prayer.
Absolutely, Jay.
If he's going to move for you, then you got to release what you hold.
Yeah. See, that's important. He's not going to change the person. He's going to change you.
And if you ain't changing and you ain't realizing what you asking, how you going to receive?
Right.
The number one problem with us today is ourselves. Go back deep. It ain't the person you was with, it's you.
It's you.
If I can get you to see you in a different way, you will be a better you. I can't fix you. I don't know you. But I care enough to give you something that I didn't even know you needed until he helped me get to you. Bar Talk with Jay is trying to reach. We pouring out ourselves to reach what we don't know, make it come true, and help us share and give us a chance to do something for you.
There you go. And with that, we're going to close out this show. We want to thank you folks for being with us tonight, all the live platforms, those of you who are watching this podcast sooner or later. We really appreciate your participation. Subscribe, like us, share us. Subscribe, like us, share us. Send it to friends and family. I think this has been a very productive conversation, and I hope you have enjoyed it as well. Y'all stay tuned every Thursday, 7 to 9, Facebook Live. We'll be right here. Until then, we're out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.